Good morning. Hi, everyone. Time to breathe again. PROoxia. We talked about so many things in the last 16 sessions, and we're going to continue to go deeper. It's been suggested that I sing a little more. So let's start with good old Danny Boy. I use these with Alzheimer's patients a lot, but I want to go a few steps further with that. Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. We know those words. There's a scaffold of memory there. It's words, it's songs, it's climbing up the ladder, climbing down the musical ladder. But what does it really mean to us? But come ye back, old language, when twilight's in the meadows. We know those words, and dementia patients sing it regularly, but they're at one dimension. They're like a cardboard cutout of a song. Well, what I have found with dementia patients, as they take that breath in, roll that oxygen into their lungs, and resurrect that free energy of music that stimulates brain tissues and resurrects implicit memory networks. That means networks like riding a bicycle or picking up my glasses. An infant can't do that. They really fumble for a long time before they learn to do that, right? That's implicit memory. Many, if you counted through your day how much implicit memory, it would be probably 98% implicit. So we can still build implicit memory. Playing that piano, why does it look so easy? It is easy. It's become implicit. And so there's a memory kind of starts up front. Oh, I'm trying to do this. And then it breaks off and it does itself. That's the memory cycle. It's like it incubates in our frontal lobe and not for long. And if our frontal lobe says, oh, I'm a loser, I can't do it, I quit, then it never gets planted. So this is simple knowledge. We are still evolving, and we're going to talk about that evolved breath today. Very important breath, but let's go back to the music. Here's another set of words that go with Danny Boy. And what I'm saying is that Alzheimer's patients can read. Most of them can read. If they can see, they can read. Even if they can't, they can learn new words, especially if they ring true, especially if the words are implicit. I would be true, for there are those who love me. Those are coined phrases. I would be pure, for there are those who care. I would be strong, for there is much to suffer. I would be brave, for there is much to dare. All those words are coined. And it's very similar to a song, Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time. They've heard that phrase and said it in book stories. True as it can be. Another deeply embedded phrase. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh, as it can be. Ooh, ee. Those things are memories. So let's look Danny Boy with this one. We've sung this before. I would be true, for there are those who love me. Now, what does that do to that song? It pulls in something that has real meaning to us. I would be pure, for there are those who care. We have a circle of people who care. I would be strong, for there is much to suffer. We know that the world, that's part of the deal. We suffer and we have to be strong. I would be brave, for there is much to dare. We need to be brave and dare to do things. Don't close it down. See what happens if you plant the seed. I would be friend of all the foe, the friendless. I would be a humanitarian. I relate to that. I would be giving and forget the gift. I give you the shirt off my back. I would be humble, for I know my weakness. Check. I would look up. I would look up and laugh and lift you. Laugh. Be ready, because if I don't laugh, I can't lift you. If I don't look up and say, what, who am I? How is this evolution? How do I evolve? Now, I want to tell you, I was out and while we're talking about this, I know you're breathing, right? Because that's what it's all about. Back breath, that big old back breath. We've been talking about that. That is the intake breath. That is the evolutionary intake breath. That is the original. And the shoulders are pulled, but they're not tight. They're not stressed. They're not activating the amygdala because we've got a loose jaw, loose neck, long neck, loose neck. Always double check those things. You can lift your shoulders, climb the tree to get that coconut, and still have a long neck, loose neck, and a loose jaw. And like, hey man, my body's getting that coconut. My rudder is set to get that coconut, and the brain will get up there and get it for me. And even if I have a slip or something, the brain will compensate for that slip and learn that slip. And next time I will not slip, because the brain does it for you. This is so beautiful, so beautiful. PROoxia, PROoxia, trusting that, making sure that happens at every nick and turn of the conscious state. Now, this morning I woke up, and of course during, so I guess that's all I'm going to say on that. These are things we reviewed before. We've even talked about the music before. But to find words, and you can, if you have a favorite song, a favorite tune, I wrote a fifth verse of the national anthem because it's different times, and I have some meaning for that. I'm proud of this country. I wrote a fifth verse for it. I can't tell it to you now, but I wrote it down, and I can pick it out and sing it for you, and maybe even make another one in light of COVID-19, because it's all about health and flourishing and that pursuit of evolutionary fulfillment. Not just shock value happiness or surface happiness or cheap, easy, come by happiness. No, we want the real deal. We want the lasting legacy happiness that we can pass down to our children just by being in the same room with them. In the same room with our children. Oh gosh, I was told to put this in a different thing. All right, now I can look right at you. I have to shrink myself so I can look at you. But this morning I woke up, and I have kind of a routine. I make my coffee. It's my first. Oh well. And I do a meditation, a kind of a guided transcendental type meditation that I just tapped into, and there's a power there. But the thing is, when we wake up, we have been processing at a hypoxic level all night. Sleep is the most hypoxic level of the day. And what it does is it cleans up, mops up, opens the pathways. It's like having a clean house, clean restaurant, clean streets, clean park, clean, people pick up the dirt, whatever. And so from that, we oxygenate with our agenda for the day. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's been mapped out and well advised, and platforms of comfort and health in every other aspect. And it's a little cooler in the morning too. I was walking my dog this morning, and being out in nature here at this time of day during the summer is where we foraged in the past. First of all, we'd wake up probably closer to outdoors than I do. And as soon as that light came up, we came up cool. As I was walking my dog, even there's a little breeze now, it's still on the breezy part of morning. And that is very inviting. It's comforting. It's very comfortable. And I can breathe, and I can, explore within my environment because it's comfortable. It's cool and comfortable, breezy, comfortable. What has happened overnight? What is blooming today? What is, in fact, let me show you this little plant I have. It only blooms during the day. I've been making edible flower cookies. This thing only blooms in the morning. It's the only time you're going to find it. And it's beautiful presentation on the cookie, you know. It's just an interesting this in particular, it is thriving, and I've been picking these orange, but I have to get them between like 8 a.m. now and noon. Then they're gone because they wither in the sun and such. So being available for the moments in the day that you can be available and breathing into those moments, understanding that even though you're inside with air conditioning and artificial, that you still need to tank up for that fuel. That oxygen is your fuel. So that back breath, there's some allergies out there. They come out, our evolved breath, this evolved area where just a small amount of air comes into, is also what kicks out the junk. You can feel it's right there. It's not down deep at this point. But in COVID-19, it goes deep quickly, and it will, and the particles that make the COVID-19, if we're lying on our back, will by gravity succumb to the greater area. So it's very fascinating how we breathe, why we breathe, how important breathing is. So I wanted to wrap up today. We talked about taking a scaffolded memory, even happy birthday. I'll give you an example of happy birthday. When my friends have a birthday, I said, well, I'm going to call you and don't pick up. I'm going to leave a happy birthday on your birthday voicemail. And so, for instance, if it was all your birthdays today, oh my goodness, oh Lordy God, happy birthday to you all. Oh, happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you all. Yeah. Something like that. So it had to be bigger, longer, sustained, because I'm pulling in a lot of people, high notes. But basically, I forget the tune. That's the happy birthday part, which reflects what I perceive as your personality. I mean, usually I think about it a little more, and it's a gift. It's a gift to my friends on their birthday. So that's one way to take a tune and remake the tune on the scaffold of the motivation and the basic text, which is simple. With Danny Boy, we've got the basic music frame, which is beautiful. We've got our old-fashioned words that someone else has layered something that has deeper meaning to us. So we add the meaning on the scaffold of the music. Now for happy birthday, I have the scaffold of the meaning, which is also a cognitive thing, a deeper cognitive thing. And I expound upon the music to reflect who I think you are or how I feel about our relationship. That's more what it is. I'm expressing my relationship to you. It's like writing a birthday card, but it's in music. It takes a musical form. It's fun. It's possible. It's doable. It does itself. These birthday tunes do themselves, and there are quite a few people who have them still, and will keep them. They like them, and they get jazzy and all sorts of patriotic or whatever. So the cognitive input through the words into a musical form, or the cognitive form into a new musical form. It's just a way to use the breath. And I would be true For there are those who love me. You can mean that. Great. Mean it. And let the song carry that meaning in you. I would be pure, for there are those who care. How lovely is that? It's very, very lovely. Another thing that we'll come back to this is that when we wake up, we have come out of we may still be cleaning up, we may have gotten to bed late and we may still be cleaning up, sweeping out, emptying the trash. And so we're not breathing yet. And that's possible to do. That we're still restoring. It's not the best use of the best time of the day, the early morning. Because remember, we evolved. When it got dark, we went to sleep. When it got light, we woke up and got going at survival and wonderment. And if there are 1,500 unique species in 1 acre of rainforest, and we were walking around over hundreds of acres of ground and rainforest, imagine what we were seeing in that evolution. Whoa! It's hard to fathom, but take a breath and let's consider how we have evolved. Now, right after this, I'm going to do my COVID-19 lecture. And it's all about how we have evolved. Not everything was edible. I think these flowers are edible. I test them all out before I make my cookies. See that little orange thing? Oh, why not? This is also, plants are a form of glucose, and they will give us our pyruvate. Not a lot. We don't eat a lot. We do not need a lot. So I've made these beautiful, friend here, visitor here, got these beautiful flowers that, I've cleared off which ones are edible or not. But the thing is that we evolved to be in nature. We evolved in nature on a highly oxygenated, PROoxic PROoxia. PROoxia. What is that? That's optimal. That means when I was walking this morning and it was cool and the breezes, and I was walking my dog, and I was like, wow, I don't have to do anything to be a part of this. I am completely comfortable in this breeze, and I just need to wait to see what is out there for me to discover. This is where we came from. I don't know if that's who we are anymore, but we can take stabs at being there, and that's one breath at a time. All that matters is what you do on that next long neck, loose jaw, loose shoulders, relaxed, buoyancy. We talked about buoyancy yesterday. Very important to stay buoyant. Breathe up, hold that breath, keep your arms down, let a little bit out, get comfortable in a buoyant posture. That takes musculature to maintain, and the muscles talk to the brain. And an oxygenated brain is lighter by nature, because when iron and oxygen come together, they are zero gravity, for one thing, and they will fuel the next processes. And evolution is slow, but it's not what do you call it? It doesn't stop if you fuel it. And we can fuel our way, oxygenate our way out and away from COVID-19, because it's an opportunistic virus on hypoxic biological humans. And it came from nocturnal, more hypoxic, twitch-like animals. So let's just learn, keep on keeping on, and try to survive this pandemic. And avoid being a victim. Rather, we're going to triumph over this. And that, my friends, is a breathing lesson. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.